Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 60. You can find me online everywhere as Kralalien. There is a group on Ravelry, which is the Colourful Creativity group. And I have an Etsy shop, which is kralalien.etsy.com or colourfulcreativity.nl. Welcome everyone and happy 2018! I'm happy that some of you returned probably. I hope you all have your fingers, and so welcome to all returning viewers, and of course a warm welcome to all new viewers, because I noticed quite a few new subscribers. I'm happy you're checking me out, and well, maybe a small introduction is in order. I'm Carolien, as I told you, and I'm coming to you from Enschede in the Netherlands, where my home is situated. We are having a massive storm at the moment, so the background noise is probably lots and lots of rain on the windows. And well, I live here with my husband and two cats. They are actually sleeping next to me in their nice little heater basket, and yeah, really relaxed. I can pet them now and then. They're sitting next to my knee. Maybe they will turn up and say hello too. What else is there to say about me? I'm an indie dyer. This is a knitting, spinning, yarn fiber related podcast. And yeah, I will show you what I have been working on in the past 2 weeks over Christmas and New Year's holiday. Well, holiday, as I still had the Christmas special to edit and stuff, but I hadn't record, so I'm treating you guys to quite some knitting. First up, I am wearing it, my peacock eyes cardigan, my first ever garment. I knitted for myself, and my first adult sized garment actually. And you can see the beautiful peacock feathery patterns. The pattern is by Justina Larkowska. I have to admit, I haven't worn it on Christmas like I wanted to. I wanted to have it finished before Christmas. I did the knitting, I did the blocking. I didn't put the buttons on. I ordered a very pretty Christmas dress, and I thought it was coming from the US, but apparently they ship from China, and it took the slowest train all the way through Poland, and then it was magically disappeared. Nothing since halfway through December, so no dress for me, so I had to pick something else to wear, and this one didn't match. So I had absolutely zero interest in putting the buttons on. So I will admit I put the buttons on yesterday, which was exactly 2 years after casting it on. But now I'm happily wearing it today for the first time. It's so pretty. I love it. And there's no decent light to make photos of it at the moment, but I do hope I can put in a photo tomorrow, as it's really I make the photo tomorrow and I will put it in when I'm editing. Maybe my husband can do it tonight. We'll see what happens. Otherwise you will have to look out on Instagram, where I am posting a lot, and I will show a photo of the finished cardigan. Yay! I'm really pleased with it. Well, that's not the only thing I've been finishing. I've been really trying to finish old whips in the last year, and I managed to do some. I finished these socks. These are blueberry waffle socks. I hope you can see the pattern. I put them on blockers because I already wore them and I washed them last night. They're still a bit damp, and it's a really nice pattern. I love it. Yarn is my own hand-dyed Colourful Soft Sock, my favorite base for everything. I'm absolutely considering knitting a sweater out of this base. The colorway is called Club Tropicana, and I love how it pulls like some kind of spiraling self-striping yarn, and it actually does that the same way in both socks, which is awesome. I knit these on 2.5mm high sharps, as I always do. The pattern is, like I said, the blueberry waffle socks. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. You have it in a toe up and a cuff down version. I did the toe up version and I knit a fleagle heel. I did not follow the pattern because once I had done what it described in the pattern, it wasn't enough for me. I was still 1 inch short for my sock length. So I added another couple of rows. I think you have to knit 10 stitches outside the markers for the fleagle heel, for those of you who know it, in that pattern. And I did 15 because, well, that's what I read somewhere else, and that fit perfectly. I knit a really long cuff for me. Normally I kind of get bored around here and I just finish it, but I wanted this pair to have long cuffs because I love these socks. I've already knit a pair of blueberry waffle socks and I wear them every time I can. So yeah, this will not be my last pair of blueberry waffles, but for now I will stick to something else because we don't want to get bored. I have to say, my mom fell in love with the pattern, so all the socks she's knitting now are blueberry waffle socks. It's really funny. So yeah, that's one. That one got finished last year. And then time ran out and the next finished object is actually my January 1st finished object. So my first 2018 finished object. Yay! My How Cold Is It mittens are finished. Hooray! And this is a pattern by Drunk Girl Designs. It is How Cold Is It? Question mark. Well, you can't see it on this one very well, but this one sure does show it how cold it is. My inner perfectionist is really loud on this pair. There are some mistakes. First up, the first pair I made was too small. This pair fits perfectly, so that's not a mistake, that's really good. But something in the back of my head said, maybe you should have started with this, so it would have been one way of the gradient all until the green, and then you would have started with green and you would have had the other way around for the gradient and would have ended like probably here. So they would have had a full gradient on both mittens. But that would have meant I would have had to throw away yarn, and now I can actually make a third pair with the same ball of yarn. So choices, thingies. And with the first mitten I forgot to do the knit one in between, so there is a little bit of a difference between the decreases on both sides, but I don't care. I want to wear these when it's snowing and whatever. They're gonna get dirty and used, and I have enough yarn to make another pair, and if one gets lost I will have exactly probably the same pair because, well, I ended just here below this, so the next one will be also different and it will still match either one if I lose one. And my inner perfectionist is really nagging, but she can't just talk to the hand because the head ain't listening anymore. I love these. I knit these with Knit Picks Chroma yarn. The colored one is, oh dear, what was it? Groovy, that was it. And the other one is natural, just plain white, well, natural colored. They are really nice and warm. I have made a longer cuff this time. The first pair was only 15 rows. I did 25 now, and instead of a 1x1 twisted rib, I went for a 2x2 normal rib. I added this bit extra because otherwise they would be too short for me. I have large hands, not medium hands. And well, now it's just to wait until winter comes. Well, it's really nasty weather at the moment. It's raining cats and dogs, and the wind is really hard. Yeah. This is not winter. This is actually feeling like autumn. So, yeah. The first pair I finished, and we had like 10 centimeters of snow, so that was perfect. But unfortunately, I'm actually pretty lucky and happy that we don't have any snow, but these mittens ask for snow. So we'll just wait it out, what this winter does. Next, I guess, oh, I wanted to tell you about these two. I am going to join in on a knit along. It's a Dutch group. It's the CQ Handmade, as she does things in English as well at the moment, but mostly it's Dutch. And she has a long, whatever you do, knit, crochet, etc. You can join in all your finished objects from the 1st of September already, and I think it's going till the end of the month. I'm not sure. I didn't check out until when it was, but it's a finish all your whips along. So I'm doing that, and I've joined in with these two already, and I'm going to join in with this one also, of course. But I didn't have the buttons on yet, so it wasn't finished yet. Now it is. Now I can make photos and put it online there. So that's the first knit along I wanted to tell you about. Later on I'll tell you about another one. Yeah, what have I been working on besides all this? Well, in this huge Frogpeak Creations bag, I have my Speckle and Pop shawl. Let me move things around. The Speckle and Pop Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West. I am still in clue 3. This will not surprise anyone who also knitted this. I am still in clue 3. Yes, I stopped mid-row because rows of 822 stitches are freaking ridiculous. I actually don't know where I was last time I showed this to you, but I cannot find my marker. Nope, no marker. Losing a point protector again. That's not handy. Well, I can find markers because there are 62 markers in this thing. But apparently I took out the marker where I was last time. So, just guessing, this bit of a mess is where I'm at now. I think I was somewhere in these rows, and I am still in those rows because they are huge. They are taking me a really long time to knit. I can't knit one row at a time because it's just too much. It's kind of knitting brioche. I took the brioche option, and you can't see a thing of it. Just all those rings. I'm very happy with my Cocoa Knits rings. Those rainbowy rings you might be able to see in between, because they come with 60 in a box, so I only had to add 2 more for the whole thing. And yeah, it's crazy. I will show you the yarn I'm using. At the moment I'm using 2 colors at the same time. It's main color 3, which is my Trellis Zeus yarn in the colorway Mandala. And this one, which is my own hand-dyed Colourful Merino Singles in Sangria. No, this is not Sangria. This is Shirley Temple on the Rocks. My main color, my second main color is Sangria, also Colourful Merino Singles. And then there's the extra pop colors which is this set of Devon Sun yarns, the Color Lover set. And then there's two I dyed myself, the Active Radio Ultra Bright Highlighter yellowish green color, and a neon orange. And this is Colourful Smooth Sock. The other ones from Devon Sun Yarns are the same base as my Smooth Sock, and this one is a extra fine merino, which is actually experimental. It was a dye failure, so I kept it to myself, and I'm using it in this one as little pops. Knitting these on higher sharps in 3.5 millimeters. And yeah, this is truly a beast. You can't really talk while knitting because you have to keep in mind that it's brioche and you have to do things. You can't really watch TV, so the only thing I can put on is something really not interesting. So yeah, I haven't been knitting on this a lot the last few days. I really wanted to take the ones I could finish before the podcast. So this one is one on the list for 2018 to finish, of course, because, well, I want to finish things, and I will get back to you about my things I want to finish and goals for knitting. So next up in my Star Wars Halloween bag, and I love it so much that I do not want to put it away until the next Halloween. This one is by Jibby Sews. In here is my Find Your Fade, and it's massively stuffed, this bag, because all the yarn I still have to knit is in here. This one I did finish my row. It's just... Do you guys also have that? That you put it away and then you pull it out and it's a big mess. It's all twisted around the project. Why? I put it in a bag so it's nice and neat, not to be a big mess. So here is my Find Your Fade. And I haven't done a lot on it, but it's still... I was at the lace section, and I still am at the lace section. So I've done for, well, I don't even have the pattern here. I think I did 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I might have done 8 rows, which in this pattern is also something you have to keep an eye on, the right stitch count and the 2 togethers and stuff. It all has to be in the right place. So yeah, you have to pay attention. I'm really starting to like it. I'm going into the purple now. I started with mint green, and apparently a stitch got caught between the zipper. I hope it's okay. I started with Mint to Be by Herzblatt Regina. Then I had a fade to mint, mint to fade, minted fade, whatever I called it. I just dyed up something with mint and purple stuff, so it matched this one, which is Undercover Otters Quickly Green. Then I will transfer to this one. It's Bullet Journal by Craftfulness. And then I have to see what order I will do these 3, but it will become purple and purple and purple. So I have a faded purple, which will probably be the one after the Bullet Journal. Then one of these 2. One is Heimatwolle, and this one is Shibot Gane Soft Sock, a skein I got as a gift. This is not a full skein, but I will just make enough of it. And this is all the same base, so All the dyers I named and myself are dyeing on the same base, which is really awesome because that means I can mix it all. So knitting these on high sharps 4mm. The pattern says a smaller size, but this yarn is so nice and squishy that it can totally be knit on a 4mm. And it's a boring knit, but I do know that the fading sections are really quick, and those sections with lace are really slow for me because then I have to pay attention, and the other parts I'm just like zoom, 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 zoom. And of course I'm getting more and more stitches on the needle, so it takes a bit. Next up is in my Chatty Cats Creations bag. And yes, the winner will be announced after the whip section. In here is my Hermione's Everyday sock. And I forgot who the designer is, but you know me, I always put it down here. I have done all this in a waiting room and in the car. So, and then I thought, maybe I should measure it and even try and put it on to see if it fits. And I was wearing a dress with tights then, and I put it on and I immediately felt my toes were like, this is too tight, Missy. We will fall off if you wear this sock for longer than 5 minutes. Okay. So I stopped, I put it aside and I didn't do anything with it. Then I put it on to on a barefoot. It does fit, but it's a tight fit, so I'm not sure what to do. Maybe I can block it, or maybe it will just stretch when wearing, as I really like it. I will knit the second sock with like 4 stitches extra, because the thing is I switched needles. I started out with 2.25mm. Yeah, this one doesn't, yeah. I started out with 2.25mm, and then somewhere here I switched to 2.0mm, so US 0, which was stupid, but it does make a beautiful fabric for the sole. It's really tight, and I like that if my sock is tightly knit. I don't like a loose knit. And yeah, well, I think I will finish. I already had in mind to finish it now, just add the toe and be ready and have enough yarn left to make a whole full pair. I might actually do that, and then just add 4 stitches to the whole sock, because I cheated after the heel and didn't go down all the way to the same amount of stitches I had here. So yes, maybe I will just make a sample sock of it for my shop to let you feel the yarn, because this is a colorful smooth sock, and also the Active Radio highlighter mini. So yeah, this colorway is called Spring Explosion, and I can't wait for spring, to be honest. I really like the Hermione's Everyday sock. I knit them before for a friend, and I really want a pair for myself now. So yeah, I might just make it in one sock and then do the rest. I have to weigh the yarn to make sure I have enough, otherwise I might just rip back a bit and make it a really small sock, like a size 36, EU 36 or something. So yeah, we'll see. And then there's one more whip, and this is in a little grey girl bag. I think it's something in between a notions pouch and a really small project bag. I just started using it as a project bag because it fit a nice skein of yarn. This is an experimental yarn. I told you about it. This is the merino cashmere I bought to try, and it felt like cotton. I can tell you, it knits like cashmere. Oh my god. It's not the cashmere we know it might just be that the merino is not extra ultra fine, but normal fine. But it knits like a dream. This will be a Rose City roller. And this is just the cuff. 20 rounds of cuff. And yes, look at that. It's the killer sticks from knitting. I'm knitting these on DPNs. There's a whole story behind it. And you're missing one. That's correct. Because that was packed for the acquisitions part. See? She bought DPNs from Xiaogu. And I will tell you more about the why, etc. later on. These are 2.5mm DPNs. I can actually do it. I know that the problem also, the DPNs I have are 20 centimeters or 8 inch. And these are 6 inch. And I always thought I couldn't use the small ones. Well, it's actually the big ones that are the problem. And the advantage in Xiaogu, and why I just found out I probably had trouble with my hayas, is that they are between sharp and steel in, as for the sharpness of the points. The haya sharp DPNs are really sharp. That's the poke a hole in your finger kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm actually okay with these DPNs, and I plan to knit these socks on these DPNs, or at least the first one, just to try the DPNs and the yarn. I'm now at the heel flap, so I have to count and I have to remember where what I'm doing, etc. So I didn't want to do that. During the holidays, I just wanted mindless knitting, which I did with my socks, the blueberry waffle socks. And actually, this is kind of mindless as well, because this side you just look at the pattern, and this side, well, okay, you look at the pattern on your needles, you don't look at the pattern on paper. This side you do look at it, but it's also quite intuitive when you are at certain points. And of course, this was my 4th mitten with this pattern. 2 pairs, then at some point you're getting relaxed with the whole color work stuff. So those are my whips. Then I wanted to show you my almost whips, and again in a Chatty Cat's Creations bag. Yes, we're going to announce the winner of the bag pretty soon. In here are my next projects. Socks. Again. This one will be for my goddaughter. She loves rainbows and she outgrew her socks massively, her mom said. I think it was a size 27 last year. And size 31 or 33 somewhere. I'm going to knit them a bit bigger so she has room to grow. And she even lost one. How do you lose a rainbow sparkly sock? How? Please tell me, people. I don't get it. It makes me sad to lose a knitted sock. I always keep my hand knits away from everything else, so I'm pretty paranoid about my hand knits. So this one is for her, and of course my godson also grew out of his socks, so I'm going to cast on this for him. It's orange with green and brown, and he loves orange. I asked him, do you like it? And he said yes. I had to wind it in cakes because the balls were already used and horrible messes, etc. It's Petale Sockenwolle. I don't even know for what I used it, but whatever, it's gonna be fine. 2 pairs of children's socks. My little boy is actually getting a big boy and going to adult sized. I really hope he doesn't have the same size as his dad. Fingers crossed. He's at a 37 EU now, and the boy is turning 9 seriously. So that is all that's planned. Oh, oops, forgetting. I wanted to tell you about the knit along I am joining with this. This is commercial yarn, so I'm joining the commercial knit along by Amy from Stranded Dye Works. I really am looking forward to that knit along because I have quite some commercial yarn left, and I know I'm getting snobby and I want indie dyed yarn or special yarn or my own yarn, but I have a lot of commercial yarn. I might even cast on a cardigan for myself, but I cannot manage that in 3 months, I guess. Who knows, maybe I can if I just knit on one thing at a time. I'm not that person. Nope, I'm not. I also have yarn ready for a antler cardigan for a friend who has a child who is now 2. I'm probably going to knit him a 4-year-old because then he can grow into that one as well. It's the one I knit the grow along cardigan for, which I also added an extra piece of ribbing with the whole mess of Kitchener ribbing. Remember? If you're a returning viewer, you do remember. I'm gonna knit him a new cardigan now. I'm not gonna make anything bigger, but the boy is so happy he has his cardigan back. He was wearing it actually without mommy putting buttons on again and weaving in the ends that were still hanging loose. And he was hugging it like, oh, my favorite cardigan. So he is so knit worthy. I am gonna be so happy knitting him another cardigan again with the antler cardigan. And his mom bought me the yarn, so it's totally fine. I will knit anything for him. Well, then it's really time to announce the winner of the Chatty Creations project bag by choice. I did a random name generator and I didn't take my phone or anything with me now, but the winner is Shirley, who is Shirley Knits on here as a nickname, and on Ravelry I found out. So congratulations, Shirley. Please, well, I would say send me a message with your address, but you know what? I'm gonna spoil the fun. I'm gonna send you a message and ask you for your address so I can give that to Naomi from Chatty Creations. And of course a really big thank you to her because she will send you the prize. And yeah, you can, I will bring you two in contact with each other. I think that's the best thing. Then we are looking at acquisitions, and I already told you one, which is the Xiaogu DPNs. 2.5 millimeter, 6 inch. Very important, 6 inch. I bought these because I was thinking, and I saw a lot of people on Instagram with these, the Adi Crazy Trio. These are very special knitting needles that are something in between knitting magic loop with a circular and knitting with DPNs. You use 2 needles to put your project on, and the third one you use to knit. Here you can see it on the photo. So I cast on that sock on these. Here they are. They have like this little bendy part with a little cable, and they have a sharp tip and a blunt tip. I don't know why they do the blunt tip, because it's horrible, because the sharp tip is already not sharp. It's a lace tip, but well, I would never knit with the blunt side. So I cast it on, and then I thought, well, maybe if I knit a few rounds with this and I can manage with this one, I can also do it with DPNs. And by that time I thought I didn't have 6 inch DPNs, just 8 inch. By now, like 35 minutes ago, I know I also have higher sharps in 6 inch, but that's totally fine. That means I can cast on a second sock if I want to. Yeah, wait, I wanted to tell you more about this because you guys were really interested in my review on it. I think they are horribly expensive, 14.95 euros, and highly overrated. I can't knit with that small circular because the needle is too short and I cannot support it somewhere in my hand, so I always get cramp in my fingers and my wrist. After the first round, my hand was like this. I felt it everywhere, and again, I couldn't let it rest in my hand somewhere, so I had to hold it funny. It might be better for people who knit continental, but I can't do that because it also cramps my wrist. So yeah, not for me. Maybe something for you. You have to try it for yourself, but no. I rather knit with DPNs than the Crazy Trio, and that, for me, saying it, a magic loop lover, is a lot. So yeah, I hope that review is helpful for you guys and saves you money, or it makes you interested and makes you buy it. It wasn't the only stuff I bought because, well, if you order at a yarn store online, you might as well treat yourself, especially just before Christmas, and you think, I had a pretty good year. I can treat myself to my own Christmas gift, because A, we don't do Christmas gifts with a family, and B, I don't work at a company anymore that gives out Christmas gifts. If I have to do that myself, or if I want to, I have to do it myself because I'm my boss. So I, as my boss, gave myself as my employee a very awesome Christmas gift. So the Crazy Trio, the DPNs, and yarn, sock yarn to be specific. I got myself the Debbie Bliss Rialto Luxury Sock in this colorway, orange and purple. It doesn't have a name, it's just number 3. I really love it, or at least I love the look at it, because I also have a different color, never used. It's upstairs. I bought it in London, so it's right time I do something with it, but okay. And then I have this one, is Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock, and the colorway is Deep Cove. I'm not sure, the lighting is really bad, but well, you can see it pretty much matches my cardigan. I really like it. It's a blue with a tealish color. There's also some green in it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's really awesome, and it's really soft, so it does not need to be socks. Then I know I have some advent calendar days left, but I already put it all away. Just like all the Christmas stuff, it's already all gone. And I will put in a basket photo, or a photo of the basket I put all the minis in. So you can see all the minis together from the awesome advent calendar by Petra and me, from Shibutgane and from Herbstblatt Regina's advent calendar. And yeah, I can tell you the awesome advent calendar had some awesome gifts in the end. A necklace with a short crochet hook. It's a 2.5mm one, so very nice for socks. A little tin of Love and Leche, Anywhere Balm, and a bottle of Unicorn Fiber Rinse. So that was in the last few days. And also there was a Christmas pickle in there as well for your Christmas tree. A nice ornament. So if you want to see photos of that, check back on my Instagram. Then I am sitting here empty-handed because, well, the yarn is still drying, but it's coming again. No rainbows without rain. I am planning on doing a shop update next week, and if you want to know when, please subscribe to my newsletter and I will let you know. It's been a while since I dyed No Rainbows Without Rain for the shop. I have dyed it for the advent calendar, of course, but yeah, it hasn't been in the shop for a while, and that's because it's a lot of work to do those, and I really wasn't feeling well. I am getting better, and that's also personal talk now. So my body is healing. I am trying to help it with all kinds of things like vitamins, supplements, etc. And also by exercise. I got myself a home trainer, or a bike for inside, from my grandparents, and my grandma is not well. We had a really stressful Christmas because of that. And yeah, she can't bike anymore, so I asked if I could borrow it, and I could just take it. So it's here now, and I started exercising yesterday. I can only do 5 minutes on a bike. 5 minutes! Oh man, it's so annoying, but this time I'm going to stick with the whole plan that's been made. So 1 week of only 5 minutes biking. But that also meant that No Rainbows Without Rain couldn't be dyed, and I picked it up yesterday. I dyed it, I just washed it all. It's hanging to dry, and it's gonna be in my Etsy shop. Whenever I do it, it's gonna be small batches, so don't expect to have a sweater quantity that will match. If you want a sweater quantity, you can do it, but you have to alternate skeins and look at the ones that are lighter and darker so that you can mix and match it. So it's not like the top is light, then there's a dark part, and then there's a light part again. Keep in mind that these skeins are all unique because they are dyed one at a time, and yeah, that makes it a lot more difficult for you to make a sweater with it. I am planning to do a sweater for myself with it to show you what I mean, and also because I'm really curious how it nets up as a sweater. I have dyed sweater quantities before, but those were all dyed to order. I'm not opening dyed to order yet. It might come later this year. Heck, we're still at the 4th of January, so I'm probably going to do that later this year. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the new year brings. I'm thinking about doing 12 pairs of socks again this year. I'll get my notes because I wrote down what my goals from last year were. My goal from last year was 12 pairs of socks. I knit 15. I wanted to do brioche, which I did because I had the brioche knit along as well. I wanted to do some pattern designing. I did 2 pattern designs last year, and I wanted to do more, but hey, 2 is already a great start. I have more plans, but not sure if it's gonna be this year. I wanted to finish my cardigans. I finished one. The other one is still in the deep stash because, well, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not sure. I do want to finish it, but it's a really saggy, big cardigan. It might be not really. This one is really nice and fitted, and I really love how it looks. So I wanted to do beaded knitting, which I did on socks for Sock Madness. I wanted to knit a Viajante. Nope, that one is bumped to this year. I hope I can. I have published a list of things I want to knit this year on Instagram. People were doing the hashtag 2018 make 9 or make 9 2018. I didn't get to 9. I made groups, like one with socks, one with shawls, and one with garments. So I had 27 things I want to knit, but I'm not gonna do that. I will probably knit some of each. Maybe one of the garments and 3 shawls and 6 socks or something. I will have to see. The plan is again 12 pairs of socks this year. I am joining Sock Madness, so we'll see how that goes. I do think I can manage another 12. Somewhere last year I thought maybe I can do 17 and 17, and then I lost my whole sock knitting mojo after Sock Madness, so I'm like 12 is absolutely totally fine. Like some people knit 40 pairs of socks. I'm like, how do they do that? How can it be so fast? I'm really a slow knitter. And I actually consider myself as not that slow because I can knit quite fast, but I just have big feet. Maybe that's the problem. A size 37 is obviously a lot smaller than a size 43. Then for this year, I want to knit at least one sweater, a whole sweater, and not a cardigan, because I don't like sewing on buttons. No, I want a cardigan. I don't have, I want a sweater because I only have cardigans. And probably one with a yoke. I'm contemplating if it's gonna be the Sunset Highway or the Zweig, because I think the Zweig is better for me. As for my shoulders that are already wide. The Viagante, I want to knit it. I want to learn to steek, but I have signed up for a workshop for that in the retreat I'm going in October. So we'll have to see if I get into that workshop. I want to finish my bunny top, so that will be my second garment. I want to finish quite some cast-ons, like the ones I showed you, my whips. And yeah, I want to do something with the design socks. Well, sounds like a plan. What are your plans going to be for 2018? I'm really curious. I really liked all you answering my question for the traditions on Christmas and the drinks you loved for the giveaways. So I'm actually hoping you will just, without a giveaway incentive, tell me what your plans are for 2018. What are the things you want to knit? What are the goals you're setting? What are the new techniques you want to learn? Maybe we can even make it a knit along if we have more people who want to learn the same thing or want to knit the same thing. So I'm curious. Let me know what you want to do. And I guess with that, I'm going to say goodbye because my voice is going and I forgot to get a drink. I'm going to make myself some tea now and see you back in 2 weeks, because that's the schedule I'm thinking I will be on again. I don't have a lot of knitting time at the moment, so I won't be making progress that fast. And I'm also not buying that much yarn. The advent calendar is all gone, so I don't have anything to show you really if I do it weekly, and that would make that the podcast would get boring, I think. So I will be back in 2 weeks and hopefully see you then. Bye bye.